Om Sadashiva-Samarambha Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Parampara Guru-Brahma Guru-Vishnu Guru-Devo Maheswara Guru-Sakshat Param-Brahma Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahi. Om Shanti. Last class we discussed how this body is important. In this body, different types of pilgrimage places. Means by going to pilgrimage places, what you get, what benefit you will arrive at. Also, you can get much more than that from this body. So that means what you see in this outside world, that is there in this body. That's why there is no need for you to become extrovert. Because people become extrovert for the sake of happiness. People become extrovert for the sake of comfort. People become extrovert, let us say, to uplift one's own self, religious people. But everything put together can be achieved with the help of this body. That is the first step of this Tantra. That's why when we look at Tantra, because actually basically it is a tantric text, that's why I was very tough yesterday and being that way a new Monday. So, because as you know, Tantra is highly, I won't say misunderstood, common people have misunderstood, but it has been highly misused and abused. So people take the help of Tantra to exhibit their power and position. That's why finally Tantra just becomes the expression of extraordinary power or bossing over others. That's why if you say that this person is tantric, that person is tantric, people have different type of eyes. In India, if you say somebody is tantric, people are afraid of. In West, if you say this person is tantric, people will have a curious mind. What sort of tantra is it? Because in West, tantra has got a different meaning. In East, tantra has got entirely different meaning altogether. So whether it's Eastern approach or Western approach, in the both the sides, Tantra is being misused and abused. So the Tantra says the first step is that give importance to your body by understanding the body. And only that time you can give importance to your body when you understand body in details in a systematic way. Not randomly here and there, not according to your convenience you have to look at, you have to say it. That's why it says beautifully that we saw that first verse was Dehasmin Vartate Meru Saptadvipa Samannitaha Sharitah Sagara Shailaha Kshetrani Kshetrapalakaha. Then comes Rushayaha Muneha Sarve Nakshetrani Grahastatha Punyatirthani Pithani Vartante Pitha Devata. You name it, anything. A pilgrim place related to a person. Pilgrimage place related to a place. Pilgrimage place related to a particular given aspect of energy and its deity. All are including contemplative people, seers, all stars, planets, everything is there in this body. So that means you have to be careful with your body. And how and why? Let us look at the verse number 3. Start says, Srishti Samhara Kartaro Brahmanto Shashi Bhaskaro Nabho Vayuscha Vanhischa Jalam Prithvi Tathaivacha. Says beautifully, if you look at not only all these things above that we discussed are there, also Srishti Samhara Kartaro. So the creator, the one who has done Srishti Rachana, sustainer, the one who is taking care, and of course Samhara Kartara, the destroyer. So let us say all the Trinity, all the three aspects of the totality. Let us not get into this generalized terminology of Vedanta or psychology. Okay, let us forget this. So being this text, I cannot generalize all these things. It doesn't satisfy. So that means Srishti Samhara Kartaro, the creator, sustainer and destroyer, and of course along with sun and moon, everything keeps moving in it. And moreover, all pancha matras, tanmatras, here actually, if you look at in a short gross way, 5 elements, and if you look at subtle way, 5 tanmatras. Tanmatra means subtle aspect of 5 elements, both. So he says beautifully that even if also Nabhavayuscha Vannischa Jala Prithvi Tathaivacha. So both gross and the subtle aspect of 5 elements also are there. And this is what this body is. So that means how much importance you can give. This is how this Tantra text. Through the body, you can change your mind. Taking care of the body, you can do anything you want. Because in other aspect, in Vedanta, the body is the expression of the mind. The way you think, accordingly body keeps moving. If your mind is agitated, you will see the body will keep moving. Body will start behaving differently. So in keeping with your thought and thinking process, body responds. So that means the mind is being given more importance in Vedanta and other places. Here what happens, please understand, if you know how to look at the body and how to really see where is what, of course you will understand how the mind is moving. From body you can look at the mind. It goes other way around. I will give you a beautiful example. I don't know any of you have observed or not. If you observe, these are the few points, these are the secrets of this Shastra. Because this Shastra, why I was little bit hesitating yesterday and all these things. Because that's why again and again I am saying whether I am giving in the right place or not, I am not sure. But let me give what is there. It is up to you to use or misuse. See, coming back to the point, if you observe your body, long before any disease happens, you will discover all the disease will be reflected on your palms, means all your fingers, palms, both the palms. So different type of fingers will have different type of pain. Just observe. And based on each finger's pain, you will discover accordingly you will develop something or other, whole body will start behaving differently. Sometimes this fingers just becomes the indication long before the disease come. And if you know how to take care of that part then and there, you will discover the impact of the disease definitely will come down. So just I am trying to say there are the few tricks and techniques, when you spend lot of time with your body, your mind, you will discover all these things. That's why spend enough of time. That's what I'm trying to say. Try to really keep learning to breathe, keep watching your breathing. How you are breathing. I expect minimum 2-3 hours. Minimum. If it increases much more because of your work and other things. Because while driving car you can watch. While talking you can watch. While sitting you can watch. While doing anything you can watch. Because while working you have got mind of worries. You have anxieties. While driving you have worries and anxieties. While eating also you have worries and anxieties. That means if your mind can think 2-3 things back to back, not at a time, back to back, why can't you observe your breathing just one, not back to back? So while doing anything, keep watching your breathing, how you are breathing, how you are inhaling, what happens, what doesn't go. Keep watching it. And of course, later on, try to synchronize your breathing with mantra. That's why in Tantra goes to think together always. First the initiation, the mantra and the breathing always go together. That's why always this Tantric tradition highlights this initiation part very carefully. Because unless these two are synchronizing, please understand, you will not have a power to hold on. You will not have, that sort of grip over your body and mind. How? So he says beautifully, let us look at next verse. Trailokyo yani bhutani tani sarvani dehataha merum sambishthya sarvatra vyavahara pravartate जानति यः सर्वमिदं सयोगी नात्र संशयः त्रैलोक्यो यानि भूतानि तानि सर्वाणि देहतः मेरुं संवेष्ट्य सर्वत्र व्यवहारः प्रवर्तते जानाति यः सर्वमिदं Sayogi natra samsayah. Says, he who knows, yaha janati, yaha must, he who knows what is this sarvam idam that is being discussed, we'll see. That person is a yogi. And natra samsayah. There is no doubt about it. So what is that? Says beautifully, Trailokye yani bhutani tani sarvani dehatah. So if you look at in this Trailokya, 3 fields of experiences. So when you say 3 fields of experiences, sometimes we use the word bhur bhuvaswaha, or sometimes we say this plane, above and below. So because, please understand, this was the concept. Because we believed this earth is not only the place where living beings exist. So when this earth keeps moving, when I am standing, below also there are many planets keeps moving. Also above many planets are keep moving. Because all are keep moving. So that's why we have many, let us say, fields of experience, lokaha. So where you get experience or you get some type of, that your all sense organs are being engaged different type of experiences. So generally we have, in short we say 3 lokas, the earth, above and below. Sometimes we look at, there are 14 lokas. 7 down, 7 up, including this. Trailokye yani bhutani tani sarvani dehatah. So in these 3 fields of experiences, in short, instead of going to 14, this planet Earth, above planet Earth and below planet Earth. So don't try to look at below planet Earth is all this you have to get inside. Understand the concept here. There are many things are there. So these are the things you have to understand it. So he says beautifully that all the being that exist in the three worlds, this expression means in short, in all sort of existence, all sort of creatures or living beings that is available, that is to be found in this body. And where he says beautifully, Meru Sambeshtya Sarvatra Vyavahara Pravartate. All of them are engaged in their respective activities surrounding the Meru. So if you want to see the Meru, actually physical expression of Meru becomes spinal cord. Your spine is a very physical expression. So you can just hold on to this thing. As you start practicing, you will be understanding much more than that. So more than this I cannot go. So he says beautifully, so you will see all people are engaged. All living being or everything really moves around in their respective activities surrounding the Meru. That's why the spine is very important. That's why in the yoga field, first they say that take care of your spine. All sort of asanas, if you observe, just to take care of your spine, because if your spine goes wrong or there is something wrong with your spine, definitely your mind will not be okay either. That's why there are asanas. This is chair asana and other things doesn't work. Sitting on the chair is very good because I can make my back straight, but the impact will not be there. Why and how we'll be seeing later on. That's why in the class I have seen this sitting on the chair doesn't work. Why it doesn't work, I can say openly. Unless and until both the legs are folded, unless and until the Ida and Pingala nadis are being circulated, the energy circulated, nothing will enter into the mind. That's why we have different postures during class time. A teacher does not sit on the chair and talk, nor the student sits on the chair and listens to. It doesn't work. But now we are adopting, modern convenience, not a technology, modern convenience. So because we are approaching this modern convenience, we do what we want. I don't know, I have been observing also, some of you are using sofa, sitting on the sofa. That is one of the best place to sit for the class. You know that. The most tamasic place, okay? It doesn't work. And each one have your own method. I don't want to get into in details. It doesn't work. You need to be that much alert. That is how the text, that is how the teaching is. You have to spend some time before coming to the class. You might be noticing, observing now, when I started taking this class, how I am on my toes. I am changing. Anyway, however, coming back to the point, here says that all the activities or everybody is engaged in their respective activities surrounding the Meru. Okay, let us look at how all about it. Brahmanda Sagyake Dehe Yatha Desham Vyavastitaha Meru Shrunge Sudharashmi Bahir Ashtakala Yutaha ब्रह्मांड संज्ञके देहे यथा देशं व्यवस्थितः मेरुशृंगे सुधारश्मिः बहिरष्टकलायुतः. Says beautifully. If you look at in this creation, Brahmanda Sangyake. So this creation is called Brahmanda. The other name of creation is called Brahmanda. And you know, if you see the translation, interesting translation I was going through. So Brahmanda means, Anda means egg, okay? So egg of Anda, egg of Brahma. When you listen to this translation, sorry, read to this translation, if you are not confused, definitely you will be confused. So if this creation becomes the egg of Brahma, so imagine, Brahma must be how big? So Brahma must be outside of this creation. If this Brahmanda, this creation becomes egg of Brahma, so that means Brahma must be different from this egg. Anyway, so here says, because these are the, you know, people without a traditional approach, without study all these things, so they have Shastra knowledge and they translate. And they do whatever they want. So, Brahmanda Sangyake, the creation which is called as Brahmanda, because this body is called Pinda. So, individual body is called a Pinda, the total body is called Brahmanda. So, he says, Brahmanda Sangyake, what happens? Beautiful like this thing. That, okay, says, Yatha Desham Vyavastitah. So also if you look at, in this body also everything is there as in the Brahmanda. So you will find out, it says, Meru Shrunge Sudharasmi Bahi Ashtakala Yuktah. So as in this universe, as in this creation, different things are properly arranged without any doubt, without any question, flawlessly is being arranged. So also in this body, everything is there, you need to really look into. And it says beautifully, most important thing is it says that Sudharasmi Bahihi. So there is a moon from which nectar flows. Now slowly it starts getting into the deeper. And beautifully says, and of course it has to be Meru Shrunge. So when it says Meru Shrunge, so we look at the translation as on the top portion of spinal cord. So that means it's beautifully, and it has got with 8 kolas. So these are the technical terminology. We have to really be very careful to understand what is kala and what is go about it. If you observe, kala is a measurement. How different things are getting measured, that we need to understand. So when you look at kala especially, that's why if you see, we say this is a lifespan or prana is being measured. So we have different way of measuring. This is what we go along with it. So we say beautifully, the life, or you can say prana in one stone is equal to 1 kala. Water said to have 2 kalas. Fire has 3 kalas. Vayu 4. Space 5. And plant and trees are said to have 6 kalas. Animal have 7 kalas. Human beings have 8 kalas. And we say beautifully, if somebody is extraordinary human being, that person has got 9 kalas. This is called measurement of prana, please understand. Actually, in different Puranas, differently have been present related to this kala. Lord Parshuram, who came before Rama, who could destroy all the kings, because those days kings were very arrogant, they used to do what they wanted to do. So to bring dharma, he went round and killed everybody. And he was having 9 kalas. Lord Rama was having 12 kalas. Interestingly, if you look at Hanuman, so Hanuman was considered having more kalas than Rama. In fact, Hanuman is having, not was, still is alive, is having 14 kalas. That's why Hanuman could help Rama. Because unless you have more prana, you cannot help lower prana people either. And of course, later on goes, Lord Krishna is considered as 16 kalas. Also, when we go to the divinity aspect, so divinity like Lalita, Paramasundari, all these things, Sodasa Kala. So say again 16 kalas. So that means the prana of an individual is being measured through kalas. So if you look at yourself, definitely by default you have got 8 kalas of prana. But these 8 kalas is expanding, or 8 kalas on the bottom line, that you know better. So whole life is that making sure that you have to increase your prana. Because only when your prana is stronger, whatever you do, whatever you think, that gets materialized faster. If your prana is not stronger, remember, you just keep doing and doing. It is like you have a spade which is not sharpened at all, and you want to dig the place. What will happen? Only you will have boils on both of your palms. Nothing will happen. The amount of energy you will be spending, that will go waste. Because first thing is, you need to sharpen your spade if you want to dig your place or you want to cultivate your place. So also, if you want to achieve something, that is the main concept of this tantra aspect. If you want to achieve something, you need to improve your prana first. That's why it brings this kala aspect. If your prana is not being improved, how can you achieve anything in life? It doesn't work. That's why all lifestyle that we have, why I am highlighting this lifestyle. In the ashram, all lifestyle that we maintain, just to make sure that you keep refreshing your prana. At least don't allow your prana to go down. And especially, just I am bringing this point, if you start functioning the way you want, definitely through that you allow your prana to go down. If your life is mechanical, if there is no challenges in your life, and even if some challenges comes, you become, let us say, violent in mentally. You start opposing yourself mentally instead of going along with that. Instead of uplifting yourself, you start defending. You discover that your prana again goes down. Have you not observed? So that's why whole process is here to make sure that in every aspect, what I eat, remember, what I dress, choosing color, of course cleanliness and others thing, everything is related to prana. Not, I have to choose a dress which looks beautiful. Stupid thinking. That's why present day ladies are going crazy, almost half naked or full naked. Because they want to have attraction. Please understand, if your prana is strong, you will be attracted, you will be noticed among all the crowd. Remember this thing. If prana is strong, you will be noticed. You don't have to get noticed based on your dress or makeups. That's why whole concept is that the way you dress, the way you choose the color of dress, please understand, everything is related to your prana. I am not telling you jokes. How you choose the dress, the color combination and everything is again related to your prana. I am not supposed to get into psychological aspect here, still I can bring it. For example, when a person is depressed, when there is a confusion in the person's mind, that person will not be able to choose bright color dress at all. Always will get into dark mode. That's why all the depressed people prefer black color dress. Prefer. This is what I have observed people. So coming to the point, you pick up the dress, you eat food, while walking, when you put a step, remember, for each and every action, you need to calculate your prana. This is the first and foremost step of sadhana. Because if you do not calculate prana properly, what will happen is, every moment your prana will getting exhausted and you will not be able to manage a prana. Only your one source of getting prana will be just to eat. That's why you will keep eating more and more. That's why the sadhakas, as they do more and more sadhana, their eating comes down. When you are more conscious of prana, you really don't have to eat much. There are many ways to improve your prana. So that's why here this point is, please take care of your prana all the time. Because unless and until your prana is being maintained with all aspects, that's why you can see very carefully. In Indian context, I am trying to say, all the yogis, why they put this wooden sandal? It is again related to prana. Not allowing the prana to go to the earth. They make sure, that's why the wooden sandal is being put. Because all these things, because every aspect of your life must be related to prana. So coming back here, let go next verse. Verse number 6 and 7 will take together. Vartate aharnisham sopi sudham varshatyodho mukha tato mrittam divha bhutam yati suksmam yatha chavai ida margena pushtyartham yati mandakini jalam punyati sakalam deham ida margena nischitam vartate aharnisham sopi sudham varshatyadho mukha tato mritam dvidha bhutam yati suksmam yatha chavai ida margena pushtyartham yati mandakini jalam punyati sakalam deham ida margena nischitam. It really goes very well. See, I enjoy more now with this text. So Vedanta, nice. But here, the energy is entirely different. So I am really happy to look at this text for myself at least. Says beautifully, says that If you look at beautifully that this has its face downwards and rains nectar day and night. Vartate aharnisham. So this is what we discussed before. This 8 kalas on the top of spinal cord, Merushrunge, Sudharasmi, Bahi, Ashtakalayuktaha. So it is in such a way. So sometimes it is being expressed, it is a half circle. So this is, says beautifully, next verse, that this has its face downwards. So facing downwards, what it does, it keeps raining, it keeps sprinkling nectar day and night. Really amazing to have this sort of experience in life. Because when you start enjoying this thing, you don't bother anything, to be very honest. Because really, I had to spend a lot of time in this regard. Oh, what a life. Because literally you will be walking, without touching the ground. That sort of happiness, that sort of joy in life. However, he says again, this nectar further is subdivided into 2 subtle parts. And how it moves, he says beautifully. Tatho amrutam didha bhutam yadi sukshma yathachavai ida margena prushtyatham yati mandakini jalam punyati sakalam deham ida margena nishchitam. So first it brings ida. So as you know, in short, so here it talks about 2 nadis starting with. Well, let us say first nadi is ida. Ida means if you look at your susumna, let us say spinal cord. So that is the center, the meru. So ida is in your left side. So the energy channel that is in left side, so that channel is named ida. Now it says, from this energy, when it keeps from this, let us say this nectar keeps sprinkling, keeps flowing, one portion of it goes through ida. So through ida, it goes all over the body to nourish it. And says beautifully, like the water in the heavenly Ganges, Mandakini Jalam. Like how the Ganga water, even if, let us say this Ganga water, even if it is dirty, how it is pleasing. Imagine heavenly Ganges, all the ways free, pure. How it must be pleasing to the body and mind. So that does this through the ida, of course, in whole body. That's why first may you take care of ida nadi carefully. So when you say you take care of ida nadi, especially when breathing happens predominantly in your left nostril, be aware of it consciously. See how this breathing movement circulates the prana, or through this breathing movement prana is getting circulated all over the body. This is to be taken a note here. So only then you will understand. The moment you understand that because of this reason, now the prana is getting circulated all over the body, that means you take care of your prana aspect. Let us look at the next verse. Yesa piyusarasmihi Bhama parshve vyavastitaha apara suddha dugdhava hatat karsati mandalat randhra margena sustyartham मेरो संयाति चंद्रमा एष पीयूषरश्मिर्हि वाम पार्श्वे व्यवस्थितः अपरः शुद्ध दुग्धावः हठात् कर्षति मंडलात् रंध्र मार्गेण सुष्ट्यर्थम मेरो संयाति चंद्रमा. Says beautifully. So again it talks about this Ida and Adi is so important. So when this particular nectar keeps flowing, so now it says this nectar flowing is like milk rays flows. So brings the color combination. So it is like purely whitish rays. So that means once you start become aware of this Ida Nadi and how the prana keeps moving, you will discover the lightness in your body. Because I should not give all this explanation, then whatever I had promised, I am going out of my way. Because this is what, if you spend time, if you practice, you will understand many things. Which I am not supposed to talk all these things, then it will not have really that impact, it will become another intellectual. That's why I want you to spend time and do practice. So he says beautifully, now what happens where the milk rays flows? And that's why what happens is, you will discover, and of course on its left side, you will discover the body becomes so light and mind becomes elevated. And of course, you will discover as you keep seeing it, thereafter you see the brilliant, the purest milk and the fountain of great joy enters through the whole of the Ida and Adi with the blessing of moon. So that means from the Ida and Adi, enters through it. And then you will discover, once you are aware of this aspect, you will slowly discover that not only it is like, keeps flowing or it keeps moving, you will discover also like as though it is keep entering and it keeps flowing. So that means there is a continuous process continues. So when you discover that there is a continuous process continues, in fact, you derive your prana from there. This is the trick here. So when you start deriving prana from there, you really see the thing situation entirely different. And this aspect is very pleasing, very soothing. Let's look at the next verse and we'll stop it. Meru mule sthita surya kaladvadasa samyutah dakshinopati vahatir urdham prajapati. Now comes back to other side, because only he cannot talk about Ida, left side, comes to the Pingala here. So now he says, at the bottom of this Meru, your spine, so now he says, there is sun having 12 colors. So top was 8 colors, facing adhomukha, downwards. Now here he says, bottom there is sun with 12 colors. Now in the right side, the Pingala. So where the Prajapati, lot of progeny, lot of creatures, Prajapati carries the fluid through its rays upwards. So now coming to the point, in short, just I am trying to say here is the step by step to look at. Now the Ida keeps sprinkling, keeps spreading, keeps nourishing the amrita, the nectar in the body. So that you see that the body is getting nourished. The whole body. And this keeps entering also through the whole of that Ida, and moreover with the blessings of moon. Now when this continues, now other side, there is sun having 12 colors, that too on the bottom. And the right side of the body, Pingala, keeps the fluid moving, keeps it moving towards up. So when this keeps moving this way, now this moving upward. Now what happens? I think I should stop here. Please spend some time with this text. More of it definitely we'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Purnamidachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.